My parents threatened to cut me off if I didn't pay my sister's debt. I called their bluff and went no contact. I was 24 when my parents called me into their living room for a family meeting. My older sister Jessica was sitting on the couch looking smug, and I knew something bad was coming. My dad didn't waste time. He told me Jessica owed $18,000 on credit cards and needed help paying it off. I was confused why they were telling me this until my mom said, "We think it's only fair that you contribute since we've always supported both of you equally." I just stared at them. Contribute? Jessica was 28 years old with a full-time job. I'd just finished my master's degree and landed my first real job 3 months ago, making $52,000 a year. I was still paying off my own student loans. My dad pulled out this whole spreadsheet he'd made showing how much they'd spent on Jessica over the years versus how much they'd spent on me. According to his math, they'd spent about $15,000 more on my education. Never mind that I'd gotten scholarships and worked 2 jobs through college while Jessica partied and failed half her classes. My mom jumped in saying Jessica made some mistakes with her spending, but family helps family. She suggested I could pay $500 a month until the debt was cleared. I asked Jessica what she even spent $18,000 on. She rolled her eyes and said it wasn't a big deal, just clothes and trips and going out with friends. She didn't think she should have to give up her lifestyle just because of some credit card bills. That's when I realized this was completely insane. I looked at my parents and asked why Jessica couldn't pay her own debt with her own job. My dad's face got red and he said I was being selfish, that they'd always been there for me and now it was time to step up for my sister. I told them no, just flat out no. The room went silent. My mom started crying, saying she couldn't believe I'd turn my back on family like this. My dad stood up and said if I wasn't going to help Jessica, then maybe I didn't deserve their help anymore either. He told me they'd been planning to give me $10,000 as a down payment gift for my first house. But if I couldn't be a team player, I shouldn't expect anything from them going forward. No more money, no co-signing loans, no emergency backup. I looked at Jessica and she was smiling. She actually thought this was going to work. My parents were literally choosing her irresponsible spending over my financial future and expecting me to just go along with it. I stood up and told them they could keep their $10,000. I'd figure out my own life without holding me hostage over Jessica's credit card debt. My mom gasped like I just cursed at her. My dad said I was making a huge mistake and would regret this when I needed them. I grabbed my purse and walked out. They kept calling and texting for days. My mom sent these long guilt trip messages about how I was tearing the family apart. My dad sent cold texts saying I was cut off effective immediately and not to come crawling back when things got hard. Jessica sent me a laughing emoji and said I'd be back within a month. I blocked all 3 of them. My friends thought I was crazy. They kept saying you only get one family. Maybe you should just help a little to keep the peace. But I knew if I gave in now, it would never stop. Jessica would always have another crisis, and my parents would always expect me to fix it. 2 weeks after I went no contact, my aunt called me. She said my parents were telling everyone I abandoned my sister in her time of need, making me sound like this selfish monster who refused to help family. I told my aunt the whole truth, how Jessica spent $18,000 on luxury stuff and now expected me to pay for it, how my parents tried to blackmail me with their down payment money. My aunt went quiet for a minute, then said that's not the story they're telling everyone. She believed me though, said my parents had been enabling Jessica her whole life and somebody needed to finally say no. 3 months went by. I saved my money, worked hard, started building my own life without their interference. Then I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was my dad. His voice sounded different, less angry, more tired. He said Jessica had racked up another $12,000 in debt and was asking them for money to cover both amounts now. They'd already given her $5,000 and she'd spent it within 2 weeks on a beach vacation with her friends. My dad admitted they'd made a mistake, that Jessica had been lying about trying to pay it off. She'd actually been spending more and expecting them to bail her out. He said they understood now why I said no. He asked if we could talk. I told him I'd think about it, but I wasn't paying Jessica's debt and that boundary wasn't changing. He said he didn't expect me to anymore. He just wanted his daughter back. I'm taking things slow with them now. My mom apologized last week. Jessica still hasn't spoken to me, and honestly, I'm fine with that. I'm closing on my first condo next month, paid for entirely by myself with no strings attached.